Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, episode 16. If my calculations are correct, we have 2 episodes left after this one, you guys. So we about to wrap it up. I think it's only going to be 18 episodes, I believe. I could be wrong, but why did I think that? I think I heard that it was only going to be 18 episodes. If you know better, then y'all go on and leave it in the comments. Let us know. Anyway, how was you guys' weekend? Just got back in town. My hair is kind of fluffy because it was wet, raining, humid. We were celebrating Simone's birthday. It was on Saturday. It was a stone cold groove. We had a great time. Time went by too fast. But anyway, we back to Atlanta. We back to work. And I'm gonna get these videos done, y'all. So with no more further ado, let's get to it, shall we? We didn't have too much of Candy this week, so I'm just gonna start her off with us. Well, she actually started the show off actually too, but apparently Candy is trying to get my favorite reality show kid, Ace. I don't know why I love that Ace. Something about his little spirit just gets me, y'all. And it was sealed when I saw him when they all had gone on vacation and he was on the zip line with D-Lo. But I tell you, that little boy had a look on his face like he was totally enjoying himself. I am scared of the zip line. So just seeing him up there, I was just like, yes, I knew I loved this kid. Anyway, she has him working with an acting coach. And he looks like he really wants to do it. So hopefully that goes well for him. But let's jump over to Marlo. So Marlo's at home, talking to herself. They kill me how they do that. You don't know what to do with the cameras around? Oh, the boys is coming back. Try to clean up the room. They don't know what else to do. Anyway, the babies is on their way home. She said they've been gone about a month. And she misses them. So she calls her sister who's been having the boys. And, she was just like, she's missing the boys like crazy. Did you tell them that they was coming? That sister was like, she about ready for these boys to go. Because they don't do shit there either. Okay. They don't clean up behind themselves. They don't do this. They don't do the other. And I was just like, of course not. Because they are teenage boys. This is what it is. You have to stay on them all the time. Teenage boys and girls. Okay. But especially boys. So I don't know why Marlo can't get it through her skull that this is just what the boys do. It ain't got shit to do with her. But Marlo tells her sister, we're going to go see a therapist together. That should get them back on track, or get them on track if they ain't never been on it, But she's going to see the boys in 5 days. They'll be home. Now later on we see her. She's talking to her assistant. Looks like the boys have made it back. And Marlo was just like, usually when, the boys are home, she has to pretty much threaten them to go and take a damn shower. She fussing and fussing. She said them boys got home and they both was in that shower for about an hour. And I was just like, yeah, because first of all, you done sent these kids off to live with your sister for a month or to visit with the sister for a month. And she already got 4 kids. Okay. And there wasn't really any space for them. I mean, of course, this is family. We gonna make it do what it do. We'll break out some blow up mattresses or let them sleep on couches or even floors if we have to. But yes, you didn't pawn them off to your sister, and she had to do the best that she could. So anyway, she asked the boys, what did they like about being home? And little Michael, I believe, tells her, that they have their own beds, that their bathroom is clean. Okay, I mean, maybe the little month away with the sister was something to open their eyes and let them realize that you got it pretty good. So maybe you should start appreciating your auntie Marlo. Now let's jump over to Drew. So Drew actually did blow out her Achilles, child. She said that when she was in Jamaica, she blew out her Achilles, overcompensating for the other leg the other leg that had been injured before, and then she ended up blowing this one out. Okay, so she just kind of laid around at the house. She's on painkillers, and she can't really do too much. And now Sheree comes over, which was surprising because I was just like, Sheree and Drew haven't seen it for each other pretty much the whole season. But I guess it's been fun shade. So Sheree comes on over to the house. Okay, and then Sonya comes, and I was just like, Mona, bitch. Y'all just creating scenes now, because you know good and damn well Sonya nor Sheree would be over there with Drew. Okay, but I mean, I guess we got to give them some airtime, right? When they get there, Sonya's saying how she feels pretty bad about what happened with Drew, you know, because I guess it was her trip, Jamaica, you know, she had her racing Marlo and, you know, for her to hurt herself. So she was feeling pretty bad about it. And Sheree was like, you know, she's just happy to be there. Sheree says that her and Drew, they got off on the wrong foot. Okay, so she's hoping that, you know, this new contact that they have with each other, this new understanding, that it will last. It'll be opening a new chapter. I was like, as long as your friend is still around, I don't know how much longer you and Drew gonna stay friends. But anyway, Drew says that what she does love about the girls is no matter what they've been through, okay, whenever something goes down and somebody needs the support, you know, they do show up and show out, okay, when it's most needed. So she appreciates them visiting her in her sick bed. So anyways, they start talking about the little rift that Kenya and Sonya had while they were in Jamaica. And Sonya kind of laughed it off like, child, that girl ate me up, okay? She definitely was not ready for Kenya. Like the Grand Dame from Potomac said, you know, you can always send for me, okay? You just ain't gonna find me. Honey, that is a classic line from Miss Karen Huger. But anyway, so, you know, Sonya was just like, yeah, I guess she was ready to just kind of not even worry too much about Kenya. But of course, the bone carrier, I mean, the bone collector is not called that just for fun. There's a reason, because she's always going to tell, you know, Sonya, you can pick up some pointers here. So Sheree tells her how Kenya said that she felt like Ross was aggressive. You guys all disagreed with me in my review last week, and you guys all seem to believe that he was being aggressive. I just still don't believe that. I just don't think that he was being aggressive. Now, was it necessary for him to stand up and do what he did? No, absolutely not. Okay, you didn't need to stand up. You could have said exactly what you said sitting down. However, him standing up still didn't feel aggressive to me. It wasn't like it was just him, one man with a table full of women. It was women and men there, okay? He was not going to be able to get to Kenya to do anything, and he wasn't trying to get to Kenya and do anything. He didn't even really look at Kenya when he said it. He was kind of looking in the air. That was like, this for all the motherfuckers at the table kind of thing, okay? And if you want to throw the men in there, you can too. You know, I just feel like he just didn't really know what to do, all right? And it would have been different for me. I would have probably called it more aggressive if he would have went over to her, or even if he would have pointed and, you know, at her. But he didn't do all of that, you guys. And so, I mean, we're just going to have to continue to disagree on that one. You know, Sonya was upset when Sheree said that. Now, this was a genuine upset, you know. But what did kill me still, she was just like, oh, I got to call Kenya right now. Because that's what her and Drew do. They go on and handle it right then. So she calls Kenya. Kenya's all like, hello, is everything okay? Okay, because Kenya sounds like she's asleep. And Sonya was just like, oh, so I'm here sitting with Sheree, and she told me that you said that Ross was aggressive. Like, what was up with that? And first of all, Kenya got to switch the gears. Secondly, Kenya's just like, that big mouth ass Sheree. And I was like, of course, you knew you was talking to Sheree. She was going to tell. Okay, that's what Sheree does. But, you know, just the whole labeling a black man aggressive, like all of what Sonya said, I agreed with. Now later on we see that Sheree, she is holding auditions for her fashion show, her She by Sheree fashion show. I'm so sick of hearing about this already, you guys. But anyway, she gets there, she sees all the models outside, you know, oh, look at you, look at everybody here. Okay, so she goes inside, and she has a girl that's assisting her. Her name is Milan, all right? And Milan seems to, apparently Sheree says she has a lot of experience in this kind of thing. She is going to be helping Sheree pick out the models that will be walking in her show. And when she talks to Milan, she tells Milan how she's invited a friend, and the friend could be pretty shady. The fact that she said that to Milan, I felt like the producers had kind of set up like, let's have a little shade fest. Let's see who can do the most in this thing. Okay, let's have a good ass time, right? Because then Kenya comes in, and Kenya is overtly shady. Okay, not that Kenya don't normally, if she's feeling shady, and all, but it just seemed like it was extra, 20 on 10-ish, But I appreciate it because, honey, Milan was ready. First of all, she had to regroup. So, when Kenya comes in like, hey, she's ready to tell Sheree how to do this. Because, of course, she is, she's from pageantry. So she feels that she knows this best. I guess Milan would beg to differ. Kenya says, by the way, Kenya does say that, she was irritated with with Sheree for telling Sonya. But again, Kenya, you gonna have to be quicker than that. You already know how Sheree do. So anyway, these two sit down and it's a battle of who got the bigger dick, okay? Because, Kenya was just like, can we move our seats, because we need to be able to see them when they're walking towards us, so how we can see how they can walk. But Milan was like, this is the way that I do things. But first of all, Milan is super, super nonchalant. Like, no, this is the way that I do things. I prefer to, So, and Sheree is sitting in the middle, like between the two of them, like the damn tennis ball. So, Kenya's all like, I used to be a model. She can do this. And Milan don't really give a damn. So while Kenya's complaining about all of the different setup and all of that, they bring the girls out finally. They do move their seats to the end of the runway. They bring the girls in. Everybody is 5'6", 5'5", 5'4". It's not many tall people here in Atlanta. You guys, I can attest to that. But Milan is just sort of sitting there like, Lord, I'm telling you the truth. This is all we got to work with. Okay. Kenya was like, we need, better models than this. And Milan was like, to tell you the truth, I mean, you have to have a budget to have models, like real models. And Sheree was like, oh, we can have real models? Yeah, instead of this little Instagram shit y'all got here. Because Kenya was like, why didn't you tell me that you were doing something like this? And I could have put it on my Instagram so we can have thousands of people here. Okay. Well, it didn't work out that way. So the girl is telling Sheree, like, okay, I mean, we can have the real models, but it's like $250 to $500 a day. Do you have that kind of money if you're trying to have 10, 15 models at, let's just top them off at $500? Where my calculator at, y'all? Y'all know I like to calculate things. 500 and let's just say 15 models. That's $7,500. Do you guys think that Sheree has an extra $7,500 to throw around for her fashion show? I think not. So y'all gonna deal with the little shrimps that not shrimps. These little teeny tinies that y'all got here, and y'all gonna have to deal with that. But the shit was so funny because when Milan and Kenya was going back and forth, and when Milan said confetti, she was like, Kenya can do whatever she wants if that makes her feel better. And Kenya was like, it does. And Milan was like, ooh, confetti. I love her already. But the bottom line is Kenya said that she doesn't want Sheree to fail because Sheree doesn't have any fills left in her. I said, oh, I beg to differ. Sheree has plenty of fills left. That's what she do. Now back to Drew. She says that it's important to her to be there for Ralph. For his whole book situation. Okay, he's actually having a photo shoot for the cover of his book, and she's invited the mom there, and he's taking his pictures or whatever, and afterwards she's sitting around talking to the mom, and the mom was like, okay, well, we had the photo shoot, so he must be at least halfway done. And she was like, he's actually 75% done. Okay, so he's coming coming along well here. Mama still don't know what the book about. Neither do Drew exactly, because Drew hasn't read it. But he has offered for her to write the foreword. And she says just because of that, he's including her. So, you know what? She's going to be in full support. I was like, child, what this man fixing to write? So anyway, she tells the mom how Ralph has decided that he is not going to adopt JoJo. And I don't think that the mom is happy with this. As a matter of fact, when Ralph comes over and talks to him, and the mom was just like, when he gets older and he realizes he's going to have a problem with you. And Ralph, I totally agree with Ralph. For men in general in this situation, like if I'm going to be adopting the child, then the birth parent needs to be okay with it. Even if JoJo's birth father is not involved and not doing what he supposed to do, he is still around and he still needs to be given the chance to do right by his kid. and it's harder if Ralph would have stepped in and adopted him, underneath the father and all of that, so I respect Ralph or any man or mother for that, for that instance, who says, no, I don't really want you to do that. And I wouldn't be trying to press this, even though, I can understand what Drew means as well. But, I think the bigger picture is Ralph shouldn't overstep, the boundaries of a stepfather. Now, like he said, if he needs to talk to Josiah, or, later on, and if they come to some sort of agreement, then that'll be that. But right now, he feels it's best in his heart that he needs to let the father try to be the father. Okay. I don't know if I told you guys earlier, but when Drew had Sheree and Sonia over, she had told them that she was going to have a party, a surprise party for Marlo and Kenya, to try to bring the girls back together, because everybody is tired of the fact that Marlo and Kenya fights all the time. And, like Sheree said, if her and Drew was able to get past it, then Kenya and Marlo should. But Kenya and Marlo's drama is way more deep-seated than Sheree and Drew's shit. Like, that shit is surface. Kenya and Marlo actually have some real shit that they needed to deal with. I was hoping that they were both got far enough on this show where they were ready to just be like, okay, that's enough of that shit. Let's try to do better now. I think that's the page that Kenya was on. Apparently and obviously, Marlo is not on that page. Marlo is more concerned with making sure that the show gets watched, pissing people off, saying the things and doing the things that she's saying and doing. And, I kind of feel like Marlo is just kind of sacrificing that newfound friendship that the two of them got for the show, really. Trying to just make sure she holds onto the peach. And, but what she doesn't realize, or maybe she just doesn't care, is that she's alienated a lot of the fans and people, including myself. Like, I still wanted Marlo to just be fabulous in this season. I didn't want her to be that damn gutter ass Marlo that we all know she can be. That's neither here nor there. So anyway, we're about to have this party. Okay. Drew has, her and Sheree had agreed to go in, I guess, half and half on the party favors, the foods, the decorations, the DJ and whatnots. And so she's just waiting for Sheree to get there. Sheree is an hour late. Okay. They're always late on this show. But Sheree is an hour late. Drew's like, where the hell have you been? Like, you were supposed to be here. Sheree says she been out there putting out fires because this damn fashion show about to stress her nerves real bad. Okay, run her pressure. And I was just like, girl, you and this she by Sheree. Like, how difficult is it to have a fucking fashion show? How hard is it? Anyways, when Sheree gets there, Drew is like, okay, here's the invoice. Okay, because apparently Drew has spent $700 on balloons, which is really a lot of money. But, that's what it was. She spent $500 on the DJ. And I don't even know why we need a DJ because, honey, Apple Music, plug that motherfucker into a speaker and let that shit play. It's only going to be a few of you guys there. It's not like no big party. But whatever. When Sheree and Drew agreed to this and they said they would split it, it was Sheree's responsibility to kind of talk to Drew and be like, okay, how much is this? How much is that? How much is this? All right. So Sheree is complaining when Drew tells her that, she didn't spend $1,200. We ain't even got to the food yet. But she done spent $1,200 on decorations and DJs. And Sheree was just like, I'm not paying that. Sheree don't pay her bills like Drew says. And so it's going to be, I saw actually on social media that them two had some back and forth. Sheree said that she gave her $1,000 and then anything after that was going to be on her. I guess that sounds reasonable to me. If it's only going to be about 10, 15 people at the most, at this really is a dinner party when it's all said and done. But, so, they're going back and forth on social media, but I think that Drew just, that's all still for the show. But, Sheree was basically looking like when she was at the party or, when she got there that she didn't have any intentions of paying none of that. I was just like, now, Sheree, you tripping a little bit. You're going to have to put something on something. Sheree can't even worry about it too much because her shit. she had to go in and outsource some things, she said, because she was having a hard time getting it done here in Atlanta. I was just like, why weren't you getting a lot of that stuff done in LA to begin with? LA has a damn garment district, okay? But whatever. Apparently some of the pieces, you know, that's what's been the conversation. Some of the pieces is missing and shit. And I don't know how they ended up in Alaska, but they were rerouted supposedly, and now they're in Alaska, and she's waiting on the shit to come. Girl, all this. I am really confused about how all of this is happening, okay? So anyway, it is, of course, Drew and Sheree there. Then Sonya gets there. Then Candy gets there, okay? And when she's telling them about her shit being hooked up, hemmed up in Alaska, Candy was just like, ooh, I use that stuff in Alaska. Like, come on, girl. Come with a better story. Candy don't believe it. I just don't understand why it's so difficult. I just really don't. Okay. But whatever. The women of the hour get there. Okay. First, actually, they both pull up at the same time. So, you know, Kenya's a few steps ahead of Marlo. That damn Kenya go in the door and close the door in Marlo's face. Marlo's just like, I know she saw me out here. That damn Kenya just closed the door and turned on around, you know. So Ralph was there. Marlo, you know, came in as well. I forgot to tell you guys that Marlo had a few of her friends that, she acted like she was surprised to see her friends there, but I was just like, how else would they have gotten there unless Drew was friends with them? But, you know, she had a god sister, I think she said, or her godchild, her niece, and her ace boom coon that she'd been knowing since elementary school. Like, they was there too. So, you know, Marlo was all touched to see them. But, you know, Ralph was like, you know, are you ready to go in the party? And they were like, yeah, where is everybody? And then that's when they were like, surprise, you know, this is for you. I was like, I don't know why you guys think that Kenya and Marlo needed to have you know, whatever this is. Like Kenya said, this should feel like a intervention, not a let's sit down and celebrate birthdays. And what make you think I want to have my damn birthday party with Marlo's ass anyway? They don't even get along, you know. So that's why I said at this point, it feels like they're just creating scenes, you know, trying to get to their 18 episode quota or 20 or however many it is. But this is at the end is when shit start feeling like it's a whole bunch of scraps of nothing. We all sit down and Marlo's friends actually say, you know, how great Marlo is. I have heard really good things about Marlo outside of the show. I'm not gonna lie. She's gone to a few people that I know, different services around Atlanta, and people always say she's real cool, real down to earth, and everything. That's why I've always tried to, you know, I've tried to like be, you know, I've always tried to kind of be in Marlo's, you know, corner. And so, but I can't keep defending her because on the show is what everybody really gets. But, you know, I have heard that Marlo is really, really cool. So the friends saying that, you know, Marlo is a good person and that she's even told Marlo not to fight with Kenya, you know, I think Marlo and Kenya will get over it. I guess we just needed to make sure we had a good season. But like I said, Kenya said it felt like it was about to be an intervention. Shit was getting a little loud and all. So, you know, Drew was like, Mom, come pray over the food first. You know, let's kind of try to bring it back down. Okay. So Mom come and bless the food. And then we continue on with the conversation. And Kenya's whole thing is, listen, I used to let people walk all over me, or say, although I don't know when I think Kenya's ever let anybody walk all over her, but I think Kenya is saying that she used to have more patience with people. And now if somebody proves to me that they not in my corner, then right then and there, I'm going to make the decision that you're not my friend. You're not trying to be there for me or anything like that. Okay. Now, Kenya and Marlo got, like I said, history. It is going to, it's always going to be hard for her to forget the things that Marlo said. You know, some of the most hurtful shit that we've heard on Real Housewives of Atlanta was when Marlo said, you know, your mama don't even love you. Like, that was something that obviously dug deep to Kenya. Okay. So, I mean, I get it. I understand that it's not easy, but Marlo is not making it easier to try to get past, you know, trying to get past the issues that they have. And Marlo was just like, let's not go back 6 years. But she's like, no, we have to, because that's really the crux of why we can't get past what we have is just because you just, bitch, you don't know how to just, you go for the jugular. Like, you be ready to fight. And we not really fighting like that, you know? So I don't think they really get anywhere. They should just really get tired of fighting. But, you know, these are two very big, strong personalities. So I don't know if I ever feel like Kenya and Marlo be friends. But anyway, they say that they're going to play a shady game. It's always a shady game, something to get an argument going. Okay, now what is this shady game? Well, we're going to ask questions, shady questions you guys have to answer, such as, what would you do if somebody said that your husband was aggressive? Oh, and this is just random questions, huh? What would you do if you were supposed to split a bill with somebody and they refused to pay the bill? Candy was just like, I say call them out. Candy, you should already know that it's Sheree that we talking about. Then we start talking about Sheree and the fact that She by Sheree, the fashion show, seems to be some issues there. You know, the number one issue being that her shit is hemmed up in Alaska. Like I said, make it make sense, please. Okay? Kenya was just like, oh, we're going to have a fashion show with no fashions. How dreadful. Shout out to Dwight. Boy, we miss Dwight. How Dwight doing? Did somebody tell me he got married to a woman? Child, I kind of feel like I heard that. Anyway, she said that she has to pay whatever she can to get this fashion show done. You know, facetiously, she had said that she had already spent $1 million getting this fashion show done. And so, you know, they were just like, you spent $1 million? No, she didn't mean $1 million. You know how you say, like, I done spent $1 zillion on your black ass and you still... Okay, that's how she meant it. Because, child, I don't even think that she spent $1 million cents. What the fuck is Sheree doing when it comes to this line? I don't understand why it has to be so difficult. Well, Kenya was like, Sheree, we want you to win. Okay, so you have really got to get it together. She wants this show to be a success. We already know it's not, child. Moving on along. Later on, we see Sheree meeting somebody. I thought it was going to be Martell, child. I was just like, nah, no, they ain't got this nigga on this show. But you guys told me on Twitter, no, it's supposed to be Apollo. And Apollo came looking a little older, looking a little rougher around the edges, but still a good looking man. He's got full beard. And, you know, Sheree says that they were always close and then they fell out of contact when he went to jail. I was like, why? I mean, you was in contact with the other jailbird, so why you couldn't? But, yeah, she said, so she fell out of contact with him, but now that he's out and everything, you know, she wants to pick his brain. She has some questions for him. And Apollo is happy to be there, because I think Apollo really wanted to be back on the show. Phaedra is the one, I mean, it wasn't up to either one of them, but what I'm saying is Apollo still wanted shit to go down. I think he was, at some point, was even trying to get his wife on the show, you know, to see if he can still be on the show. So, you know, we get the woe is me. We get the violins of Apollo saying that Phaedra wasn't there for him. I'm just like, I don't even care at this point. You know, relationships fizzle out. I'm not mad at Phaedra. If she felt like Apollo and her was not going to make it, you know what? No time like the present. It does suck that he's not able to see his kids. But, of course, we don't know all the ins and outs of what's going on over there. So we don't have Phaedra's side. All we have is Apollo's. Apollo say he don't see the kids like he wanted to, and Phaedra keeps him away and all of that. Child is whatever it is. Okay, hopefully he and her can work that out if he ain't been able to see them babies. But as far as their relationship, shit happens. Okay, so I'm not mad at Phaedra if she felt like she couldn't, you know, that wasn't something that she had planned for her life. Not mad at all. So anyway, they're sitting there talking and she's telling them about the dramas with Tyrone, you know, and he was just like, man, I'm gonna tell you what, I have seen it in jail. He's like, you would be surprised how many women that these men have. You know, one week one show up to see him, the next week is somebody else. It's women in and out the damn visiting room all the time. And then when the man get out of jail, you know, then all the women realize that they weren't the only ones. Now, he ain't saying that's what Tyrone is doing. He just telling you how it goes down behind the, you know, behind the cell block. So she was just like, oh, you know, which I guess it seems like you would know that. I mean, that seems like that's sort of a given, but anyway, you know, she's telling him how he ghosted her and all of that, and Apollo was just like, yeah, I bumped into him, and he did tell me that y'all was seeing each other and all, but yeah, that's just sort of how it goes, okay? She did ask him if he would be in the fashion show, and even though he acted like he didn't want to do it, you know that damn Apollo was chomping at the bit. Apollo was just like, I get to look good. I don't know what he gonna look like, actually, because we still don't even know what the fuck he gonna be modeling. Some damn joggers? Girl, if you don't let some of these little shrimp models just model that shit and call it a day. And how tall is Apollo? Because I know Phaedra is only like 5'2", 5'3". I've seen her in person a few times. Okay, and he was only a little bit taller than her, so it ain't like he's some big, long, strong, tall, you know, like her son. Her son is tall. Him, not so much. So anyway, you know, he agrees to do that. But as far as Tyrone, you know, she tells him how Tyrone been calling and texting and all of that. And Apollo was like, if you know what's best for you, you would just leave the nigga alone. Okay? Look out for Sheree. Do what you need to do for yourself. Don't worry about Tyrone's ass. All right, you guys, that is it. I still have to do power, so let me go on. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. Everything else I do eventually will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.